Hey, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, coming with another live feed, and I'm doing it from two different devices again. So you're going to be looking at both places, and it's going to be so awesome. Oh, you know what? I think that I can make this better. So this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and really excited to chat with you guys about another topic that just comes up so much. And so I really wanted to bring this up because there's so many misconceptions and there's so many just like weird not truities around this sort of topic. And so I really want to bring it to you about why is it so hard to accept our bodies? Like, why is it so difficult to really just say, hey, like, this is me, this is how I am, this is how I'm shaped, and I'm fine with it, and all of that. And so we're going to go over that today and really help you guys to have a better understanding of, one, just how to be okay with your body and, you know, lay down your weapons and not have this be such a war. And then why it's so difficult in the first place to get to that place. So I am Lydia, the lifestyle coach. I help women to be free from food crazies like binge eating, bulimia, compulsive overeating, all that jazz, by just using your brain. So no drugs or pills or therapy, just like using your own brain and knowing how to navigate your own thoughts so that you can be happy and healthy and well and totally free. I'm coming to you today with a side ponytail because I have never in my life done a video with a side ponytail. I do videos every Monday. It's never been with a side ponytail. But you know what? I think it's about time because I'm accepting my body. I'm accepting how my hair ended up at this moment, and I'm just gonna go live. So excited to delve into this topic. So why is it so hard? First of all, like, why is it, oh, and yes, thanks for the likes and the sweetness and all of that. Go ahead and post any questions that you have about this topic, or anything that comes up, or just say hi. If you guys just want to say hi, that's fun, that's encouraging. I like hellos, that's all good. So you can do that too. But yes, would love to see any comments that come up. So I'm broadcasting live to my Facebook world and also to the amazing Beat the Binge Facebook group that we have. I'm also broadcasting live to you guys right now so we can just get this message out to lots of people because everybody needs this. We all have a body, right? And for so many of us, there's this huge war. There's this big dissonance. We're trying to control our bodies. We're trying to manipulate our bodies. And we're just like not happy with it. We're like not liking it. And have you ever backed up and wondered, like, why is it that it's so difficult to just be okay with where I am? And why do I have all of these messages in my head about like, you're not thin enough, you're not fit enough, you're not okay, like your shape isn't all right. You know, there are these things like, oh, well, I've always hated fill in the blank of whatever part of your body that can be scrutinized by these messages in your head, right? So one of the first things to bring up that's important to realize is that we, in our world, do not see images of real women anymore. We just don't. Like, it's almost impossible to see an image of a real woman unless you're like in the world and like actually looking at her. And even then, like, there's all sorts of surgeries and she's got their, you know, whatever's tattooed on, and she's got the lift and the cream and the, like, she doesn't look like that just like in the morning, right? So it's really hard to see images of real women in the world. Almost impossible. So more and more in our world, if you look online, if you see any sort of advertisements, if you just walk out your door and you're out shopping, you're at the mall, we don't see images of real women. And this is why. There is such an impossible standard of what it is to be a woman, and not even the women who are the ultimate standard of what society says beauty is are even good enough. So to give you an example, you take a woman who is extremely genetically rare, right? So, you know, she's got all of this sorts of shape and the longness and the thinness and the bones and all of these things. And, you know, women come in all different shapes and sizes. But that particular genetic makeup is very, very rare. And so, you know, women who go into the modeling industry for the most, like, we can just say pretty much all. I'm sure there are, you know, rare instances in otherwise, and there's more body positivity and that sort of stuff happening in the world, so that's wonderful. But you take a woman who is so extremely genetically rare, who's naturally very tall, very lean, very bony, very lanky, you know, with just the right facial proportions, all of this. And then they put all this makeup on her, and then they put perfect lighting on her, and then they take 2,000 pictures of her, and guess what, you guys? She's not good enough. She's not good enough. Like, they still have to put her through filters and Photoshop and manipulate and change her body, and then they go ahead and they put it on a billboard or an advertisement or whatever it is, right? So these aren't actually women. These are like bots. They're like changed and like animated with a computer. Like if you go and look at advertisements and you look at like a woman's skin or her face or her shape, like if you really look at it, I know we're used to seeing it, but look at it and realize this is not a real human being. This started out as a human and then it was made into something else. And that's fine, you can do that. But the problem with that is that we are comparing ourselves to that. We as women are comparing ourselves to images that aren't women. It's like if you watch an animated movie and you're like, oh, this cool new animated movie by Pixar, oh, I'm so sad that I don't look like that animated character. It's like, we're comparing ourselves to animated characters. And that's one reason why this body acceptance is so difficult, because we get all sorts of images that just aren't real. And so I'm going to go off just a little bit on a feminist rant, because what I do really at its core is a feminist issue. But think of how smart that is. If you're just thinking of dollars, think of how smart that is to create a whole sort of beauty industry with makeup and diets and pills and fashion and all of this stuff. And then you have women want to be that, to be more beautiful as that industry would tell you that it is. And then instead of making it achievable, they make it completely impossible. Think of how wise that is dollar-wise. Because women can take all of their mental energy and all of their extra money and they can just pour it into this pursuit of being the impossible, and they'll never get there. So guess what? They'll keep on spending dollars on it in that pursuit, the impossible one, until the day that they die. Like, that makes the diet, fashion, beauty industry so much money. So much money. But it also steals happiness and satisfaction and so many dollars and time and mental energy away from these women who could be out doing really cool stuff instead of manipulating their whole lives. So that's one reason, is because we don't see real women anymore. The other thing is that there's this idea in the world that we can control our body. Like, if we just try hard enough, we can be whatever shape, whatever size. So I was bulimic for a lot of years. And I remember I had this inspiration picture of this woman on my phone. I don't know. In fact, the picture was like cut off from here on up. Like, that was the way the picture was. Like, her body was the focus of the picture. Like, she didn't even have a face in the picture. Like, we don't even see whole women. We just see like abs of women and breasts of women and like in little pieces. Anyway, that's another thing. But the message is just try hard enough. Like, I had a friend who's a personal trainer, and he's like, well, this is your inspiration picture. Like, you realize that this person is airbrushed, right? And in my bulimic mind, I said, oh, well, it doesn't matter if she's airbrushed. If I work hard enough, I can still do that, right? I believed that because there's this idea out there. All you have to do is eat the right way and work out the right way, and you can be any size and shape and texture and color and whatever it is. And I'm here to preach the truth to y'all. Guess what? It's not true. It's not true. Let me give you an example. So for instance, well, okay, I want to be this certain shape and I want to be this certain size. All I have to do is work out hard enough and cut my calories enough. So this is how your body works. Your body is all about survival. All it cares about is like, let's survive. Like, let's let's live another day. Like, we have a lot programmed in our genetics to be able to do that. And so what happens is we say, okay, well, we just need to cut calories enough, right? Like, we just need to be able to, work hard enough and cut calories enough so that we can be thin enough and look like the picture. So we do that, and we have all these little programs in our body that says, whoa, this person is not eating enough food. What we need to do is we need to turn down their metabolism so they don't lose weight, because they're losing their fat because they're not eating enough food. Oh, and the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn on this little switch in their brain that says they're really, really, really hungry. They're going to feel insatiably hungry and eat everything in sight, because this person is dying. This person is starving. This is an emergency. Like, your number one priority, how your body is programmed, is to keep living. So this turns on. So this is a lot of times how it starts with a woman's first binge, right? I'm so hungry. Why am I so hungry? Why am I so starving? Why can't I get enough food? And then she just eats a bunch of food and she feels terrible. She feels horrible. Like, what did I just do? I'm working toward being thin enough so that I feel like I can be satisfied with my body, and I just ate all of this? What an emergency. You know what I need to do? I need to diet harder. I need to cut my calories more. I need to work even harder. Then all of those little switches get turned on even more, and then she does it again. This is called an eating disorder. This is called bulimia. Bulimia isn't always throwing up. Bulimia just means there's a purge on the other side. So with my specific brand of bulimia, I would just starve myself and work out really hard. Then I would binge again, then starve myself, work out really hard. And it gets harder and harder to do because your body tries harder and harder to fix this, to say, okay, like, this is not okay, this is not working, eat more food, right? And so it just turns into the cycle, then it turns into a habit, and then congratulations, you have an eating disorder. It's no fun. It's no fun at all. But there are mechanisms in our body that don't let us become starved skeletons, right? It's like it wants you to survive. So it doesn't work. We can't control our bodies. Like, you can do lots of things to be healthy, and I'm all about health, and I love helping women to be free and to be able to eat exactly how they want and to be healthy and to be happy. But the thing is that you cannot do anything that you want. You have a body who controls your metabolism, who helps your heart to beat and your lungs to breathe. And you know what else it does? It regulates your weight. Here's the other thing that comes up. Here's the other thing why it's so difficult to be able to accept our bodies as they are. So just think of it logically with me. This is going to be a logical exercise for all of us. So the women who are most attracted to dieting are the women who are not meeting up to the beauty standards of extreme thinness in the world, right? So this group of women that are most attracted to dieting are the ones who aren't naturally super thin. So when we say, okay, I just want to accept my body where it is, I want to stop manipulating it, I want to get out of this, diet binge cycle. And so that's a beautiful thing. I highly encourage that. But what happens is you start going back to your set point. You start going back to your normal weight. So for some of us, binging is making us larger than we naturally are. So when we stop binging, we go to a lower weight. For some of us, the binging and, the purging or whatever cycle it is keeping us underweight from our natural place. So if you're not a woman who's naturally thin and you give up on this pursuit, then your body becomes natural, how it is, which may not be super thin. So we see this, we see ourselves gaining weight, going back to our set point. And so we're just like, oh, this is unacceptable. And we keep in the cycle. Now, I have a video at lydiavideo.com. There's a new video every Monday. There's one about set point theory, about how your body will actually push up your set point. So you will be naturally bigger and bigger and bigger because your body is getting scared because you're starving it. So one thing you can do is just cut your losses and say, hey, I need to accept my body how it is. Or you can continue in the diet cycle and the restrict cycle and push your set point up and up. And eventually something's going to happen. So really what's happening here is it's not going to work. Like it won't work. Like you can't make it last. You can do it for a while. Like if I decided that I wanted to be really, really skinny, like maybe the size that I used to when I was bulimic, if I decided to set aside my mental health, be super obsessed with food again, you know, be bulimic, I could totally be thinner, you guys. Like I probably got a few good years in me where I could be super thin still. But then I would create an eating disorder again and completely ruin my relationship with food, and it wouldn't last. So once where my body forces me to give up this pursuit and says, you know what, no, I'm not going to let you lose weight anymore, I'm going to make you hungry all the time, then my set point is way, way higher than it was. So if I want a few more years of being super thin at the cost of being a lot larger naturally than I am right now for the rest of my life and having an eating disorder, I could totally do it. But I just got to the point where it's like, you know what? I've got to choose my mental health first. And then you just let your body show up how it is. And I can tell you guys, body satisfaction, that pursuit of just being fine with your body, doesn't mean you have to be in love with your body. It just means you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about food, and you're not thinking about your body. You're living your life, and you're doing the things in the world that you want to do. Like, that place literally has nothing to do with the size of your body. I know there's this thing going on in your brain, and there's this chatter saying, no, 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 if I just got to this level of thinness, then I could be okay with my body. I would finally just accept it, and all my problems would go away. We call that wishful thinking. Because I can tell you right now, I was so much less satisfied with my body, you know, 30 pounds ago, or, you know, however thin was my thinnest, I was so much less satisfied with my body. This is just kind of me now. Like, hi everyone, this is me and my body. And this is just how I show up in the world when I don't stress about food and I eat whatever I want. And when you eat whatever you want, then you're not binging and you're not going crazy as long as you've gotten rid of those habits, right? I'm not restricting anymore. And this is just how it is, right? And if you work on body acceptance and body neutrality, and there are some amazing things that you can do for that, you can be okay wherever you are. I know it's a really scary thought of like, what? But it's not okay. I'm not okay with where I'm at. If I accepted where I was at right now, then I would just hate my life, because I can't die somebody who's this size or who's, you know, whatever it is that you're not happy about your body, you know, with this stomach or these thighs or these elbows or whatever it is that you're upset about. But the thing is that you can do this pursuit and you can try to get there, and it might last for an hour. And you might get there and realize, man, this didn't make me happy. But at that point, then you've really ruined your mental health and your relationship with food. So what if we just accepted and worked on that acceptance right now? So these are some reasons why it's hard to do because of all of these messages, but I want to let you know that it's so totally possible. So for some resources on actually that journey, again, you can go to lydiavideo.com and you can go down to interviews. I have amazing interviews with Summer Innanen, Isabel Foxton Duke, Kayla Prinz, like all these cool body positivity people who are going to give you really solid information about how to actually be okay and lay down your weapons that are in your mind that, you know, are making you hate your body, and just move on from there. So there's great resources there, but know what you're up against. No, it's not fair. No, it's not cool. But this is the world that we live in, and it's an industry that makes so much money off of the insecurity and the unhappiness of women. So you can participate in that and keep on giving your dollars and your time. That is up to you. There's no judgment. I want you to do what you want to do. But if that's not what you want to do, just know that there's another way. Know that there really, truly is peace and happiness, and that you can get there. Like, you can totally get there, and you can do it and just be mentally at peace with food and your body. And it's such a cool thing. So that's my story about why it's so hard to accept our bodies, but that it's absolutely possible. So this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach. You can go to lydialifestyle.com and you can join our super cool group with thousands of people in it who totally get this and are working toward freedom in their relationship with food. And you can get there with lydialifestyle.com. There's also a free ebook about how to stop binge eating and just, you know, be successful at everything else. They're all good things here. So they're for you, they're available, they're free. I would just love for as many women as possible to just have that freedom. So Lydia, the lifestyle coach, signing off. Mwah!